Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am jeffgrantMEDIA. In today's Real User Review, we are going to take a look at the Anvil Kilties for my Red Wing Iron Ranger boots. Now, Anvil did send me these Kilties as a sample for review, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I do not share this content with Anvil prior to publication. They will see this when you do. In addition to that, there is an affiliate link in the description box down below if you're considering buying these Kilties or any other product from Anvil. Like the boot breakers, they're awesome. Please consider using that link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but I do get a small percentage of the sale. Kick back to me. All the money goes back to the channel to help me produce more content so consumers can make informed purchasing decisions. So, the Kilties. I've known about them for a long time, but in my mind, I always associated Kilties with logger boots because the point of a Kiltie is to protect the tongue of your boot and offer you a little bit more protection on the foot. Now, a logger boot is something that you certainly do need all of the protection you can get. But in my mind, logger boots usually have the Kilties with the fringe on it. These are basically a no-show Kiltie. So I intentionally left one unlaced and one laced because when these 6-inch, without the frill, Kilties are laced up, you can't tell that there's a false tongue in there. You just see the top of it. Now, if you look top down, you can see the Kiltie tongue and you can see the original tongue. So if you're looking at it top down, yes, you can see it, but you're usually wearing jeans, so you can't see that. And it's only the wearer, not the person looking at the boot. I can't tell that there's a false tongue on that. So they cover up the original tongue, they protect it, and they offer you a little bit more protection for yourself. And with a logger boot, that's something you definitely need. But in my mind, they always had that fringe. So when I got suggested, because I'm not wearing them because I want protection or to protect my tongue, because as you can see, the tongue on my boots is pretty much beat up. I didn't get the Kilties until I already had been wearing these boots for about 2 months or so. The reason I got these Kilties, and it was a commenter in my unboxing of my Iron Ranger video, was, you can see this is the Kiltie, this is the original tongue, but like right in here, you can really see there is a big divot into the leather, and that is because the first speed hook, it digs into my right ankle. Now, it has happened a little bit on the left boot, but it's mostly the right boot. And it doesn't really happen until I've been wearing these boots for about 10 hours. So on long days wearing these, that eyelet just started to dig into my ankle bone. And it was really, really uncomfortable. So a commenter had suggested I get a pair of Kilties to kind of just slide it over a little bit to just basically give me an extra layer of padding between the rivet and my bone. And I was like, I don't really like Kilties. I don't like the fringe. And then in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure Anvil has them without the Kiltie or without the fringe. So I hopped on the site and they indeed do. They have them in 6, 8, and 10 inches in both the plain and with the fringe. They vary in price from $20 USD up to $30 in USD, depending upon the size and the leather you choose. Now mine are the copper rough and tough, which match my Iron Rangers. These Iron Rangers are the copper and rough and tough. Now, if you saw my unboxing video, the Kilties, while they matched, they didn't match. They looked brand new. You could obviously tell that they were a brand new piece. So the first couple of days, you could clearly see that the tongue, even when it was laced up, you can clearly see that the tongue did not match the rest of the boots. And that's kind of because if you want to look at the heel, the darker part here on the heel, that's kind of what these boots looked like when they were brand new before they started getting worn and stretched, and they just looked super duper dark. But after I wore them for a couple days, they basically lightened up and now they look just like the boots. So when you're looking at them straight on, you have no idea that there's a false tongue on this boot because they are the same leather from the same tannery. The leather's bought from Red Wing's tannery, so it would match the boots. They were intentionally made with the same leather so they would match the boots, and they have a wide selection of these in all the sizes, so you can get a Kiltie to match your boots. So I did get the Kilties without the fringe. So these are the 6-inch copper rough and tough, the plain, basically the no-shows. And they are working great for both my intended purpose, and I'm sure they're protecting my tongue and protecting my ankle a little bit better. But what I've been doing is when I lace my boots up, I actually kind of take this one, the right boot, and I just kind of pull it over a little bit. So if you're looking at my right boot dead on, you can probably see the separation of the two different tongues, but that doesn't really bother me because I'm usually wearing jeans or pants. I don't wear boots with shorts at all. Also, it's mid-April, so it's still freezing here. It's like 40 degrees outside, so I'm not wearing shorts anyway. But You can see if I were to my pant leg hike up, you would be able to tell that I do have the false tongue on the right boot because I am pulling off the side, and it has been working awesome. I think you can see, yeah, you can kind of see where it got eaten up a little bit. Is it showing? Yeah, you can kind of see the edge is actually a little bit chewed up right there from that eyelet, but they have been working great. They have actually been protecting my ankle. They've made these boots so much more comfortable to wear. Now, I do have a pair of the 2mm Rose Anvil foam boot breakers in these boots because all of the reviews said that these were a monster to break in, not because of the tongue, but because trying to break in the veg tan leather soles and midsoles and insoles in these boots, that's the hard part because these are a heritage boot. They're made vintage style, so they're made with hard leather. So I got initially the boot breakers to help with these boots, not thinking that the eyelets might also be an issue down the line. So after about a month and a half, 2 months of wearing, I did reach out to Rose Anvil. They sent them to me, and even though I did not intend on using these to protect the tongue, because my tongue has clearly been pretty worn in prior to me getting the Kilties, they actually work great. I don't think, I can't say definitively that I've gotten any additional hardcore wear on the tongue, because the tongues do, you could tell that I've been wearing these without the Kilties for a while prior to having the Kilties, because the Kilties don't have nearly as much creasing as the actual tongue of the boot does, but they work great to kind of give me that extra barrier of protection from the eyelets. So if you do have a pair of boots of any caliber, work boots, heritage style boots, and you're getting a little bit of that discomfort from those eyelets digging into your ankle bone after a long period of time, you might want to check out the Kilties. They actually helped quite a bit. Again, so not something I had ever thought about myself, so I forget who mentioned it to me in the comments, so if I go back and remember, if I don't remember to go back and check, thank you very much for that comment, because you basically saved my life. I do love these boots. I have been wearing these and will continue to wear these boots a lot. This is a boot I went back and forth with. I ended up buying this with my own money, so I do really, really like these and wear these quite a bit. And now I can actually continue to wear them. Well, I'm always going to continue them, but I can wear them for those days that I know I'm going to have them on my feet for a long period of time, because I have that little bit extra protection from this eyelet. So the Rose Anvil Kilties are top notch. They are American made. They come in a variety of different leathers, so you can match your boot, and they're pretty inexpensive, $20 to $30. I'm sorry, depending upon the size. I think some of the 10-inch and the more expensive leathers are like $30, but even $30, that's a pair. It's not a piece. For $30, you get a pair. Mine are $25. So for the 6-inch copper rough and tough are $25. And that is, again, this is the exact same leather that the actual boots are made out of, because they're buying the leather to make the Kilties from Red Wing. Red Wing owns their own tannery, so the leather that's being used for the Kiltie is the same leather that is being used to make the actual boots. So you can rest assured that once they age, they will match the leather of your boots. Kilties, not just for logger boots, they don't have to just have that fringe, and they look really clean. You can't even tell they're on. And there you have it removed, and you get a little bit better look at how it's wearing and creasing with the laces. And it attaches the boots in 2 points. You have these bottom holes down here, which align with your bottom 2 eyelets, and then we also have the little piece here in the middle of the tongue, which is right about the top 2 eyelets of the boot, right before you get to the speed hooks. So that's it. They just lace right on top, and once they're laced in, you really can't even tell. Like, if you take a look, if you pull it down, you can kind of see it laced in right there, but you can kind of see it's laced in the bottom. And then if we go up here, coming up from the, I guess from the 3rd eyelet up to the last eyelet before we get the speed hooks, that's where it goes through the piece in the middle, and that's it. They're in there, and they're solid. They're not going anywhere. I can hold it on there. I can't pull them out, so they are attached. They're not going anywhere. And then I could just adjust that a little bit, and probably just made that boot a little bit funky, but we just adjust it, and that's it. You can take them off if you don't want them on. They come off very easily. You just simply unlace your boot, and then to put them back on, you just lace them back in, and you can't even tell that it's there. So yeah, it's a great product. I mean, again, I use it for not its intended purpose, but for me, it worked out really, really good. Now that it's off, I can get a little bit better look. You can kind of see here, it's a little chewed up, and you can see it coming through on the camera, and that's where that eyelet was digging into my ankle. So that what chewed up the leather was chewing up my ankle. So it's actually kind of wearing my socks. I saw a couple pairs of socks, some like lighter socks. There was a little bit of like pilling on the sock right there where the eyelet was digging in. But yeah, the Kilties, they're doing their job. They're making my boots much more comfortable. So if you do have a pair of Red Wing Iron Rangers, in addition to maybe getting the Rose Anvil boot breakers to make the initial break-in period more comfortable on your feet, if your eyelets are digging into your ankles, when you're wearing those boot breakers, maybe get yourself a pair of Kilties too. They can help with that. And if you're someone that does not want the tongue of your boots to look like this, get a pair of Kilties and put them on before you start to wear your boots, and you can prevent a lot of that wear and get that wear onto the Kiltie itself. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get any wear on the tongue, even with the false tongue in front of it. I'm sure you will, but it's not going to look nearly as bad as this does. So there you go. The Rose Anvil Kilties, I think they're well worth their $25 for the 6-inch copper rough and tufts. It seems pretty par for the course. I've seen them, many other companies are offering Kilties. They seem to be about that $20, $25 price range, and they're not offering the 10s. Those usually be 6 and 8-inch versions. The $30 ones that Rose Anvil is offering are for the 10-inch. So if you have a taller boot, you can still get a Kiltie to lace into that. And again, pretty much par for the course price range no matter where you go. But American made in Utah, made from the same leather that my Red Wing Iron Rangers are made out of, and they have a wide variety to match a variety of different boots. So if you need some tongue protection, if you need some boot protection, if you just need a little bit of comfort to help prevent your eyelets from digging into your ankle bones, check them out, try them out, give it a whirl. I'm sure it'll help you. It did whirl and wonders for me. So with that, if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.